Good evening. This is how to maintain a Ocsytech hammer mill B015 maintenance. First, you remove the belt from the shaft, so that you disconnect it from the electric motor, so that it will not mistakenly on the machine. So that you will not mistakenly on the machine for safety purpose. Then you lose the fan housing, disconnect it so that you have access to the bearing by the fan side. You see how I'm doing it on the video. It is very, very simple. This is the fan housing. The fan has been removed, as you can see, but to remove the fan, it's not too difficult. Then remove the fan housing, hang it on something the same way you are seeing it on the video, to give you access and the free space to lose the bearing. This is it. I'm losing the cover of the machine now, so that you can have access to the removal of the shaft after losing the bearings. Now this is how the cover is opened. After this cover is opened, now you lose the bearings, just the same way you are seeing it on the video. You lose the bearings, then you say first one has been loosed. The second one is what we are working on now. As you can see, disconnect lose the bolts, then lose the one that is the side of the pulley. After losing that of the pulley, then the next is to remove the shaft from the machine. Then after removing the shaft, then next thing is to clean the bearing seating to make sure there are no particles on the bearing seating. You can see I will remove the bolts. Now I've removed the shaft now. The next is cleaning, just the same way you are seeing it on the video. You can see it, I cleaned the whole thing to remove debris that's on it, so that the bearing, when you fix it back, it will balance on its sitting, so that nothing can make the bearing not to sit well or to bend to one corner, because if it bends to one corner, it will be losing. The next thing, after removing the shaft, before you remove the pulley, because you can only remove the pulley before removing the bearing. If you can't remove the bearing will not come out. So you mark the pulley, you mark it with saw blade, then hit the pulley inside. As you can see, the pulley is already inside. I remove the key with hand, then unscrew the bolt, the iron bolt. After unscrewing the iron bolt, the next is to remove the bearing from the shaft with big hammer and a chisel, a blunt chisel, not sharp chisel, a blunt chisel. With a blunt chisel, it takes time, it takes effort, because it's always strong. You hit it with big hammer, with powerful force, so that it can be able to pull the bearing out of the shaft, just the same way you are seeing it on the video. Then once you remove it, the bearing is out. The second one, you do the same thing to the second one. You can see it's being punched out using a blunt chisel and a big hammer with strong force, because it's not easy. It's always tight. So you can see the bearing is out. Now you rub oil on the shaft position of the bearing, so that to avoid much friction and also easy entry, and also not to allow the shaft to be getting rust, because if it's getting rust, the shaft will be reducing size. Thereby the bearing may go free, becomes free inside the shaft. On the shaft, it will not be strong enough again. Now you unscrew the iron bolt on the bearing that you want to fix, so that there will be no obstruction on the road, so that the iron bolt will not disturb the bearing from entering. You rub oil there for easy entering, to reduce friction while entering. Then you rub oil there, then fix it on the shaft. Now, the same way you are seeing it, then you use big hammer with pipe to force it in. Then you can see the same way it's being done on the video, the same way it is being done on the video. The bearing must reach the stopping end. It has not reached very well, just which you have seen it has entered very well now. Then you look at it, it has entered to the end. If you turn it, the bearing is not moving freely. You can see. If you turn it up, it will not return. It will not return, because it's stiff somewhere. The cover has gone inside and stiff the bearing, the balls from moving freely. Then I fix the second one the same way I do. I will still go back to make the other one free. You can see it, I fix it in, it has entered a point. Then the bearing has shifted one side. It has gone out of the bearing housing. You can see it there. I use hammer to dress it to balance well again. You can see I'm using hammer to dress it well to enter very well. Then look at where after doing that, you can see that when you release it, it doesn't return. It's stiff also. The same way the other one is stiff. I will make it free now using a concrete nail and a small hammer to tap the cover or the iron cover of the bearing to pull it out a little bit. It's the cover that is making it stiff. And if you leave it this way and run it on the machine, the bearing will get hot, it will be heated, the heat will be much, and thereby damage the bearing very fast. So you pull the cover out a little bit to make the, you can see the bearing is already free here. When you turn it, it returns on its own. This is the second one now. This second one is still stiff. I'm going to make that one free also. You can see this one is free. You can see the other one that I've done is now free. I'm doing the second one again to make it free also, so to avoid much friction while the bearing is running. You can see I'm doing it. It's not yet free, totally free. You can see I open the other side of the cover, because when I open the first cover, it is not yet free very well. Now I open the second part of the cover. You can see the bearing is returning by itself. When it is up, the mark that I have on the pulley before removing it is what I'm showing you on with the nail now. And that is the same place I will put the pulley back to stay, so that it will not miss its alignment with that of the electric motor and making the belt to cut or to turn around, to turn. After putting it there, I put the key, I slide in the key using a small hammer to hit it in, to hammer it in, maintaining the position that I marked on the pulley side for the as the position of the pulley. It has maintained there. Now I lift the shaft, drop it back on its position on the machine, on the bearing sitting on the machine. Now making sure that the bearing balance on the two angles where you are seeing the nail, where I pointed the nail now. The bearing must balance on the two sides. It must maintain equal space, equal size. No side will be higher than the other side. Both of them will remain equal on it. You can see it. I've positioned. You look at it. Then on the bearing, on the machine itself, the shaft must be free from the bearing, from the shaft space. It must be free on both sides. It must maintain equal size on both sides, both this side and the other end, where you can see I'm putting the nail, showing the space between them, so that it do not rub on the body of the bearing of the machine. The holes are maintained the same way. All the holes are maintained. If they are okay now, I fix the hole, the bolt. As I just fix the bolt, I will tight both of them. This one has been fixed. The other one, I will just tighten it a little bit, just more, not much. Look at it, I will just tighten it just more to make it stable, not to move, before using the hammer to adjust the bearing housing to balance well on the bearing sitting. If it is not balanced well on the bearing sitting, that means every corner of the bearing sitting is not touching the bearing base, and you tighten it, it will break the housing of the bearing. It will break the bearing housing. By when you now adjust it a little bit. Look at now. The next thing is to see. I'm using hammer now to dress it so that it will balance very well on the seat, on the bearing sitting. Now, after balancing that, I will now tighten it strong, very, very strong. Not with all my strength. I will use all my strength to tighten it very strong, so that no matter the vibration that goes on to the machine, the bolts can never lose. It will maintain that strength of tightening until anytime I want to lose it by myself, I will still use strength to lose it again. So you can see I'm using all my strength to tighten it very well. You can see now I've finished tightening that one. The second one, I'm going on that one too. I'm tightening it again. I need to maintain that strong tightening, so that no matter the vibration of the machine runs at the rate of 4,500 revolution per minute. So it's not just a little speed. It runs more than automobile engine or automobile tires. The most engines runs at the rate of 2,500, even from 1,000 The highest you can go and it will mark danger is 3,000 revolution per minute. But this machine runs at the rate of 4,500 revolution per minute. So after tightening those things, the next is to fix the bearing, the fan housing. I'm fixing it back. Look at it. I'm fixing that now. Fixing the bolt on it to tighten it again. I will tighten it. So because of everything, the speed of the machine, you make sure that anything you are tightening, you tighten it very strong, because that speed, it is not easy to maintain, to control vibration with that speed. But because of the efficiency of the machine is well designed, and everything is in that place is well measured, so that it brings out very minimal vibration, very minimal vibration. But notwithstanding, you need to tighten everything properly. So you can see I'm tightening the bearing housing. The fan housing is being tightened. Look at it. It's tightened, being proper now. You can, with all my strength now, it's being tightened. You see. The next is to fix back the belt that I removed before. The belt that I removed before is what I'm fixing back again now, because since I fixed the bearing, fixed the fan housing, I'll fix the belt now. After fixing this belt, what I'll do next is to fix the fan that is inside that fan housing that I just tied. I fix the fan. Look at it now. This is the last belt on the pulley now, because it uses only 3 belts. 3 belts on it, because it's using a groove. 3 belts, a groove. Now the fan is being fixed. You put the fan there. The fan must reach at the beginning of the shaft, not inside the shaft, because if it goes inside, the more it goes in, the more the key is free. And if it is free, it will not tight very well, and it may end up losing while the machine is working. So because of that, if you fix the fan at the beginning of the shaft, I'm maintaining a level that will not touch the cover while the machine is running, the cover of the fan housing while the machine is running. So now I fix it, and I want to use big hammer. You can see I'm using big hammer with a little stud of shaft sort of iron to hit in the key very well, to make sure it's fastening very well. Because as I said before, the machine runs at the rate of 4,500 revolution per minute. So if such a thing loses tightening of the key, or the fan got loose, everybody in that place will run away because of the kind of noise you are going to hear. Some people will think that it will come out, they will be killed. But to assure you the safety of the machine, there is no place that anything can come out from this machine that can kill or harm anybody. Every noise that you can hear will remain inside, because of the thickness of metal that is used in building this machine. There is nothing that can come out of the machine to harm anybody, except when the machine is open. If the machine is not open, nothing can come out to harm anybody. Now, you tight the cover of the house, the fan housing, the cover, the upper side of it, you tight it very well first before you tight the down part. The down part has only 2 bolts, while the upper part has 8 bolts. You tie the 8 bolts first, then you tie the 2 that is down, the down part of it. Tight it very well too. All of them you must be tightened very well to avoid losing while the machine is working. So after that, the next thing to do is to cover the machine now. If you cover the machine, then look at it, it's being tightened very well. The down part is being tightened very well. And after this tightening, you will now tighten the cover the machine, then and tight it. So you can see I'm now tightening the cover of the machine. After tightening the cover of the machine, the next is to run the machine for you to see that the machine is okay. Now, very soon we'll on the machine now. We are tightening the cover. You see the cover has been tightened. The next now, look at it now. Very soon now, I will start the machine. I'm going to run the machine now. Look at it. The machine is about to start. Started. As you can see, the machine has started running. The machine has started running. Now, I will run the machine a little, just for a few seconds, then check the heat that is generating from on the bearing side to make sure that everything is okay. Look at it, the machine is already running, and this machine is designed to grind anything dry that doesn't have much moisture or oil content. If the oil content is the same as moisture, because it will block the mesh. But as long as it doesn't have light moisture or oil content. The machine, look at it, I'm checking the heat on the bearing now to be sure that everything is normal. Look at it, I'm just using the backhand to check the temperature that is coming up from the bearing. Now you can see how this machine is being loaded. It can produce up to 10 tons of any of the products such as chia beans, corn, millet, and even ground rice, and also pando yam within a period of 8 hours of production. 8 hours of production, you can produce about 10 tons of whatever that you are milling, and it gives you smooth and a very soft milling